Well, I'm down here in wet and cold Melbourne, kicking back 3 a.m. in the morning, 3:46 in the morning, and working by myself all the time. I get to think a lot. So I've been thinking a lot about something I heard on YouTube the other day, where a school teacher in the US grilled a girl because she wouldn't recognise another student as a cat. I'll be frank with you, I don't give a shit if you want to be called a cat, a dog, a mouse, a crow, a bear, tiger, a lion. I don't care what you want to be called, girl, boy, indifferent, hermaphrodite, trans, whatever. I don't really give a shit what you want to be called, to be honest. I really don't. But I came across a thought, and I wanted to put it out there and see what you all think. Because my thought is, maybe this gender identity stuff isn't all new. Maybe this gender identity stuff has been done before. And I started looking into cultures, like the Egyptians, where they had half man, half dog, men with wings, the Sphinx, those kinds of things. Mixed animals, half, particular animal crossbred with other animals. In theory, we haven't seen any evidence in the bones that archaeologists dig up, but we've definitely seen the statues of them, the drawings of them. Greek culture has it, China's culture has it, Japan's culture has it. Aboriginals' culture's got one. Innu, I think they call it. I think we know it as the bunyip. But there's every single culture's got these half human, half animals, like that Minotaur guy, half bull. Every culture's got them, dating back hundreds of thousands of years. So maybe it's not something new. Maybe someone out there who started this nonsense cued on to the fact that it's happened before, knowing the world will always repeat itself. So what happens in this generation may not repeat again for this generation, but the next generation, like all the 80s funky stuff that comes back, like all the 70s styles of clothing come back, like just the world always repeats what the world has done. Now my problem is this. Like I said, I don't hold anything against anyone who wants to be called a dog or a cat or a mouse. I don't really care. Call yourself a guy, call yourself a girl. I don't really care. That's another argument that I could talk about, and maybe I will, about this, especially the guys being called girls. Because anyway, look, the women who backed this idea in the beginning are now arguing that it's not fair. Really what they've done is abolish women's rights. That's what they've done. But anyway, that's for another argument. Let's just leave that one alone for now. We'll get onto that one another time. Let's get back to this, what you want to be called. So this gender identity stuff, it's, I'm from Gen X. You're a guy, you're a guy, you're a girl, you're a girl. You're a human. You're not a dog, cat, mouse, or anything else you want to try and be. But for all this new generational stuff, that the people want to get on board and say, well, I'm a nothing and I'm a them and I'm a they. Well, that's a plural. So unless you can be over there and over here at the same time, I'm not going to accept you're a plural. If you're a guy, you're a guy, you're a girl, you're a girl. It's just who I am, it's what I believe. But look, if you personally want to be called something different, I hold no grievance against it. You call yourself whatever you want, but if I slip up and call a she a he and a he a she, then too bad. It's what I see is what I call. Spade, spade. That's it. If I'm an idiot, then I'm an idiot. That's what you call me. That's what I am. It doesn't matter. I don't really care about people calling me out on what they think I am. I don't really care. It doesn't bother me at all. But let's get down to why I'm doing this video. Now, we've seen over the history of generations, long before us, thousands of years, we had all these, let's call them gender identities. Half dog, half human, half bull, half human, half lion, half human, half snake, half human, half fish, half human, half goat, half human. All these different cultures have all these different half human, half animal. Now, could it be that these people were actually, what would I say? You can't really say anything, can you? Like, every time you say something, you're wrong. But let's say they're human, all human. But maybe they identified as a bull because he was big and strong, or as a goat because he ate anything, or as a eagle because they believed it was wisdom. Maybe these people identified with creatures like we do today, like if you think you're a strong, indestructible guy, you might associate with a pit bull or a big mean dog, which is what most people will refer, if they feel like they're big and strong and they're going to tear the world apart. They're like, yo, I'm a dog, I'll take you apart, Like that old saying is on here on Instagram, it says, before you break into my house, make peace with God, because I'm the last thing you're going to see. And it's a German Shepherd. And too right, it probably will be the last thing you see as a German Shepherd or a pit bull or a Rottweiler, until the laws here ban those as well. But anyway, maybe all this gender identity is a repeat. Maybe it's not new. Maybe it's just new to us. So I'm thinking, what happened to the generations before who had these mythical gender identity creatures? I'm going to say they're gender identity because, frankly, we don't know if they really existed or not. We haven't found any archaeological discovery that says that these things were found in bones. Like, we haven't found a half chicken, half man. We haven't found a half bull, half man. We haven't found a half goat, half man, or a half horse, half man. But yet, there is substantial evidence out there that cultures believe in these things existing. So, if they did exist, is it that they existed in that form? Or did they exist in that identity? Like if I was to think I was half horse, you would think I would be strong and fast, because horses are strong and fast, also very intelligent. When I see a goat, I would say that someone will eat anything. Like, you put anything in front of them, they'll eat it without complaint. Like a burnt stew, doesn't matter, I'll eat it, Or someone who mucks around a lot would also come under being a goat. Someone who's a joker, someone who likes to make jokes and make people laugh. You silly goat, because that's what they do. They jump around and play a lot. So, is it possible that the mythical creatures were gender identity associations of people who came across as strong or intelligent or clever? I just thought I'd put that out there, because if it's so, then there's a downside to the gender identity. Because what happened to all those cultures that had these mythical creatures and believed in these mythical creatures, or these gender identity people? What happened to their cultures? Because they're all just about gone. The traditions of the belief, the traditions of culture, most of the traditional cultures are gone. So, is it the start of the downfall of our society? Like, I already thought our downfall of the society was already coming, but this might just be another cue to say, hey, your society's going to fail in the next 2 generations, because here's another sign, So I'm just putting it out there, like, what do you think? Like, I'm just a question I'm not for or against gender identity. I don't give a stuff what people want to call themselves. But you just got to ask yourself, where's the history of these cultures that believed so much in these identity of half man, half animal? Where have they gone? So I'd really like to hear your input, to be honest. Like, what do you really think about the gender identity? Like, I know there's people for and people against. I don't know what's for what, you know. Like, I'm not for or against it. I'm just a guy trying to make a living, you know. Like, I came up against a feminist once I did a job for, called a boss. And she jumped down my throat and she said, "You called me boss because I'm a woman. You're a male chauvinistic pig and you shouldn't be out there working," and blah, blah, blah. And I thought to snap back at her and say, "You idiot," you know, but I'm one to sort of argue with a fact. I don't really want to argue with a guess, you know. I want to argue with a fact. And I said to her, well, firstly, that's not why I called you boss, but now I see what side of the fence you're on. That's okay. I don't care. But I called you boss, firstly, because I don't remember your name. Like, last time I spoke to her was 4 weeks before. I don't remember her name. I just know that I'm doing the job. That's why I firstly called her boss. And then I said the second reason I called you boss is, you know, sometimes you can answer a question. You can just answer it. But sometimes it's better not. Sometimes it's better to ask a question. So I did. I said, when you go to work, who pays you? And she stopped and she looked at me and she said, why? And I said, well, who pays you when you go to work? She goes, my boss. I said, okay. So your boss pays you? She goes, yeah. I said, who pays me when I go to work? And she looked at me and you could just see I'm a dickhead written on her forehead. Because she pays me. When I go to work and do a job, I go to work and I assume everyone I work for is my boss. I don't care if you're a company or you're a person sitting on the lounge. I don't care who you are. I don't care what gender you identify with. I don't care if you're male or female. If I'm working for you, you're my boss. Because at the end of the day, after I've done a good job, neat, tidy, professional, you're going to pay me. But no matter who you are, you're my boss. I know it's my own company and I'm my own boss in managing my work, but when it comes to doing the job, I'm working for you. That makes you my boss. So I can see how between having feminists and chauvinists and gender identity, these things are all stuffed. Seriously, in my opinion, they're all completely botched. You've got feminism fighting for gender equality, which allows men to take away the rights of women. And that's just. I'm not sure. Like, I'm Gen X. I don't understand this shit. So I'm hoping someone out there, I've had a look around and there's so many videos for, against, beside, up, down, left, right. I don't know what to believe. I don't even know what it's all about, to be honest. Like, shit, if you want to be called a dog, I'll call you a dog. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. If you say, oh, I'm a dog, I'll go, well, good. Throw your food on the floor and say, there's dinner. I don't care what you want to be called, seriously, but I don't understand it. But my biggest question was about the cultures in the past that have had these mythical creatures of half human, half animal are all but extinct. What's it say for us? Just a thought. Love to hear your opinions. Love to hear where... Maybe send me some links on where I can go and read up on this stuff, because it's all confusing to me. I mean, I'm just a dumbass tradie. I don't know nothing. So, yeah, by all means, put your links up, put your comments up. Love to hear what you got to say. Yeah, wait to hear back from you. Thanks. Bye.